Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Hello. How's everyone doing? How many minutes? 0 minutes, Mimi. If you're asking how many minutes until I start streaming right now. Moonlight, Marauder, evening all. Good evening to you. Everyone hit that like button on your way in. Thanks for being here. I just figured, hey, Chloe. I figured I would go live. I've just been sitting at my computer today, getting some other things done for the documentary that I'm working on. And all this stuff with the Benny Keys thing is happening. And it started from last night. And I'll try to catch some people up to speed. But if I'm being completely honest, I need to be caught up to speed. Because I don't know what's going on. And I'm going to be completely honest about that. And so I figured, let's just go live together and try to figure out what's going on. I may be a lot quieter in this live stream. We're going to be listening to some phone calls, listening to some of Benny's videos. I want to try to get a good understanding or get an understanding of some sort about who Benny Keys is and how he fits into this entire Summer Wells story. So we're going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to say hey as people are joining. Like I said, be sure to hit that like button on your way in. Allie, how's it going? It's crazy. It is crazy, Allie. Eileen, happy you're covering this topic. I don't know much about Kenny. Well, Kira, what do you need? Kira, come on my show. Please call me and talk to me about Benny. Talk to me about what's going on. Because you seem to be one that has had a better read on kind of both sides and all sides of what's going on with this story. And if I'm being completely honest, Benny's stuff has been somewhat hard to follow. I know that he befriended, or at least, correct me if I'm wrong, Kira, he befriended the Wells early on after Summer went missing. Like, Benny was not involved in the Wells' life in any way prior. Kira, ask me whatever you need to know. Just know I'm very protective over him. That's fine. So Kira, I'm curious. You want to come on? I would love for you to call me. Maybe we'll do it in a little bit, and then maybe you can kind of correct me on some of my preconceived ideas of who Benny is. But from the outside looking in, which is what kind of all of us are doing with this case, Benny seemed to be pro the Wells from the beginning, right? Someone who supported the Wells. And that's what a lot of people sent me. They were saying, don't, obviously, and I'll give you the number in a little bit, Kira. It's the Google Voice number that we use in previous live streams. I don't have the Google Voice tab open right now. I'll open it. Well, actually I won't, because then people can still use the old number to call in. I'll let you know, Kira, if you're planning on sticking around for a little bit, I'd love for you to call in. I can give you the number. But anyways, earlier on, and when I first started looking into the Summer Wells stuff, people would tell me hey, don't look into anything Benny Keys does. He's a supporter of the Wells, and you can be a supporter of the Wells, or you can be on the other side that, thinks that the Wells had something to do with it. But Benny seems to be someone who has been over on that side with the Wells and who has seemed to have jumped ship. And it's what happened? What happened in the last 8 days? Because also, I said I'd say hi to people as they were coming in. Lindsay, how's it going? Good to see you. Aggie, hello. Saleo. Hello, Erica. Bex, BK is back pedaling now. He's lost control of Candace. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. True crime commentary, you could reach out to Benny. Yeah, I could. I have yet to do so, but I could. I'll be completely honest. I'm just trying to see things without getting too many people involved. Because let's be honest, Benny is involved in this at this point. You're talking about someone who has talked willingly or often with key people in this story, and so he has inserted himself into this situation. So he should it should be expected that people are going to come on and talk about him and talk about his involvement. And I actually made a little video on my phone in the event that Benny were to see my video and say something about me or what I'm trying to do. I kind of made a video saying, I'm going to call it out ahead of time that he likely will do something. And if he does do it, I'm a very good judge of character, but he's probably going to be reading me entirely wrong because I am just trying to figure out who he is. So I'll get you that number a bit later. Thank you. Mimi, how's it going? Good to see you. Angela, on my way to work. So glad you're doing this. Thanks. I'm glad you're here. Katie, hello. Oracle, how's it going? Good to see you. Barbara, hello from Switzerland. Sabrina, I didn't hear about Benny Keys. It's a first for me. Wow, Sabrina, that is surprising. Benny obviously has a lot to do with this case. What is Penny saying? Hold on. Ocean Eyes, thank you so much for that super sticker. Really appreciate that. Or the super chat. I guess it's a super sticker. But thank you so much, Ocean Eyes, for that. I think a lot of what's happened lately is Jose became the center of attention. And it seems like Benny has shifted. Because 8 days ago, this is Benny on the left with Candace putting tinfoil hats on, and nothing wrong with this. By the way, Benny is now seeming to claim like this was kind of part of a plan, or at least that's what. Or at least that's what it seems. Like he seems like he's saying like he was planning to do this all along to try to get in close with them. It doesn't seem legit though. I don't know. And I'd love to talk to Kira about this later. And Kira, once again, I'm just hopping into this to see if I'm able to read into the situation properly. Crazy Schedules and Nurse, you're the one that keeps me updated on several cases. Oh, nice, Sabrina. Very awesome. But yeah, this is Benny 8 days ago with Candace, prior to the Jose situation.
We're gonna get into Harry and Sally here in a minute, but these are custom made. Like these are stainless steel. They come from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, custom made. So we're gonna check them out.
So. No mention of anything that he's now seriously focused on. This is him this morning, or either last night. Is this morning? Yeah, this morning. And this is just me comparing and contrasting the Benny that was on with Candace last week and the Benny from this morning.
Tell her to get that phone in there, bro. Help her get that phone in there, bro.
There should be a little context here as well. There was some rumors spreading and things about the phone as of last night with, people on Justice for All's YouTube live stream last night talked about Candace not putting, giving her phone up to law enforcement right away or something like that. Also something about Dawn's phone becoming in possession with the media manager. Why am I drawing a blank on the media manager's name? I don't know. Tim Mullen. I think it's just Mullen. Apparently Tim Mullen is the one that has Dawn's phone when Dawn went to prison, and Tim Mullen made a copy of that phone on his computer and he hasn't given it to law enforcement. I'm not entirely sure if that's true. Also the same thing goes for Candace. We don't know exactly how long it took for her phone because to go to law enforcement, because this is a little excerpt from the Interview Room's video. Let's listen to what she says about the phone, because she's talking about the TikTok. So 1 second.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made TikToks.
Okay.
Honest to God.
I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
Got some business I got.
I don't know if she's referring to these TikToks that can prove that Hunter was using her phone, whatever. I think she may be talking about that. So it could be reading into the whole situation of, well, when did Candace actually give her phone over to law enforcement? I would assume that at this point of the Chris from the interview rooms video, you know, everyone involved, TBI, that would need a copy of the phone would have had a copy. So maybe she was talking about proof of like drafted TikTok videos that prove that Hunter, you know, that he did indeed TikTok on her phone. Also, there was a rumor that Benny Keys's laptop had been taken into the FBI, and that is not true. He talked about that. So there's just a lot going on, but I'm just curious where Benny's talking now about Candace, turn in the phone. This is him this morning.
You can't. I couldn't make her get the phone in there. I couldn't do no more about the phone. I tried. I'm not doing shit.
Okay. So apparently he tried to get her to turn in the phone. So let's listen to Benny 8 days ago attempting to get her to turn in the phone.
We're going to check him out. In the meantime, in between time, Candy, you have any news that you want to talk about? Any comments, questions, concerns?
So I don't hear anywhere in this video him asking her to turn in the phone. Now, I don't think Benny would press her live on this live stream to do that. So we don't know what Benny's talked to Candace about offline. Once again, we don't know the entirety of the situation. Hawkeye says this is a desperate attempt to save face and damage control. Interesting. Also, thanks for 100 likes, everyone. We have 400 people in here. Everyone hit that like button. Help the video get out to some more people out there. G's Louise says Ernie Shell accused BK of being directly involved in the case and of driving the moving van. Candace is now talking with Ernie. Yeah, so I think that's another aspect to all of this, is that because of, regardless of what Benny's involvement is with this case, him being this friendly with Candace, you have to know that there are people that believe Candace and Don, or one or the other, sold Summer or trafficked Summer or whatever the case may be. And so, of course, you're going to get thrown into the loop. It's not cool like that. Like he was talking about it on his live stream that people think he's like an organ harvester, transporter or something. And it's like that. Yeah, that would be unfortunate for people to like start making those accusations. However, when you're inserting yourself into the situation in the way that he is, you're going to have people talk about you. People talk about me. There was just last week or 2 weeks ago that people were going off on a live stream about me and the way I do my thing. And it's like, look, I don't care. Like, I'm just interested in this story. I have not inserted myself in the way that people like Chris from the interview room has, or even as far as Benny has, where he's really involved. But Benny seems to be now making it seem like this was all part of like a plan. Jennifer Harris, good to see you. Also, Angela, I don't know if he's talking about Don's phone or if he's talking about Candace's. But let's see. What is you believe what you wish? I'm sticking to the facts. So yeah, Kira, I'm gonna get you to, if you'd like to still call in a little bit. But to me, it seems like Benny built a sense of trust with Candace. And I'm aware that they did not take his laptop. I heard that as well. I'm aware that was the case. But yeah, Benny seemed to have built a lot of trust with Candace. And if he was just trying to, be very tactful in all of this and build the trust and, build a friendship, even if it was a facade, when was he eventually going to shift into trying to help push this case in the direction that it needed to be pushed? So let's listen in a little bit to Benny's video titled Stonewall, because if you go to Benny, he's talking about Don's phone. Okay, cool. Yeah, I imagine that he was talking about Don's phone. Also, it's so strange to me that I mean, I guess if Don was going in for the probation thing, it's not like they would have needed to take his phone. So, I mean, I guess someone needed to obtain Don's phone while Don was in jail. So, also, I might talk about this later, but I'll maybe talk about this later as it relates to Don. But yeah, if we go to Benny's channel, a lot has popped off. I mean, he's very active on YouTube. So once again, it's tough to follow because there's just so much output from Benny. So I get it if you're someone who is following this case so specifically, in just this case, to potentially watch everything that he's talking about. But you have to see some of these videos just from in the last couple of days, 2 hours, 3.5 hours, 30 minutes. And I mean, I'm the same way. Sometimes we'll live stream here for 2 hours. And so people will watch it, right? I haven't been able to watch every person's videos. I'm also planning a live stream for tomorrow to do an update on the Michael Vaughn case. I'm having someone call in to kind of update us on that because, once again, I haven't been able to fully, follow that story as much as it deserves and give it the attention that it deserves. So it's like I'm doing follow-ups in other stories. Anyway, so let's just listen to the first video because I'm wondering what happened between that video with Benny Keys with a tinfoil hat on, laughing, smiling, having fun with Candace, and now a lot has shifted. So let's listen in on this Stonewall video real quick. I've already listened to a little bit of it. A lot of the beginning of his videos are just him like kind of sitting or like rolling a joint or something, but he starts talking pretty quickly in this one.
Somebody over on Ernie's side and messed around and sent the wrong amount of money. I'll pray it away, though. Pray it away. I was on Q Carlock's situationship last night with Obsidian, Q Carlock, John Q, and Fizzle.
I'm going to play this at like a higher speed if that's okay. Like 1.5 speed, so it goes a little quicker.
And man, it's like I saw all these great minds together in one place, and I started to see how really jacked up this community is, And of course, I play a role in all of that too, I think that I'm different, but really I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm the same. I'm the same as all the rest of them. I think that a lot of people don't understand. I said it very early on, that when you do this, you have to do it in a way that's tactful.
Oh, he used the same way.
A lot of people will say that, it wasn't tactful what you've been doing. And a lot of people can see the design. They're like, yeah. But like the insanity has risen to dangerous heights, dangerous pressure. I mean, people think I'm a fucking organ trafficker. I must seem that intelligent. I mean, my mom's.
That's so. Okay, continuing on. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of me just like listening. Shannon says I find 1.75 best. I actually just had to slow it down or like speed it up. Or sorry, go back to more of a normal speed because 1.5 is a little too quick.
You need to take that as a compliment.
Hold on.
People think that you are intelligent enough that you could put together a whole network of doctors and surgeons and, organ transport, helicopters. I mean, shoot, Cher's already put me in an airplane, right? So,
I mean, I get what he's saying to an extent. There are people that make accusations or say things online, and it's like, come on, really? You think he's part of the overall, like, the bigger picture in that way? So yeah, let's keep listening.
I mean, like it's it reached a thing, and I'm big about deducing, and when things happen, to react to them is to be narrow-minded, is to be tunnel-visioned. Is to be tunnel-visioned. So when things happen, you have to be able to remove, or not even, to remove yourself means you got involved. You have to be able to stay back and look at it like, well, why is it? What contributed to it looking a certain way? And quite naturally, I'm here to support who the law has deemed victims. And when Ronnie Lawson says that she wandered away, I'm not here to question that. I'm not here to question the professional opinion at all. So, but you also can't discount what the family says at the same time. So you're caught in this, this kind of trifecta. You've got those 2 points of view, and then, most certainly everyone here has their own theory that fits somewhere in between, or, completely aligns to one side.
So there are certain things that he says that are 100% true. I mean, like, you've got people that almost everything is like a trifecta, right? You have how the world is, or, how things are happening to you. There's usually a couple parties involved, so they have their side. You either think, oh, I'm kind of on that side, or I'm on that side, but then you always have whatever it is that you actually think. And so even if you kind of bounce between them, it is this kind of trifecta. Ernie, do not start. Ernie. Who are you talking about, Kira? Anyways, let's keep listening. Some of the things he says make sense. But I think he's somewhat of a walking contradiction. Alex, no worries. It's all good. I started this live stream on a whim. Seriously, no worries. I think that he's a bit of a walking contradiction.
And through deduction, I just reached a place where it was a stone wall. I reached a place where there was a stone wall, but I know where a lot of potential information is. And I've reached a stone wall because I'm not the only one that knows. But it seems like I'm the only one that cares.
Okay, I'll keep playing it. 1 second. He's the only one that cares. Is he talking about now out of everyone in the family? Who's this Ernie guy? What's his name? Oh, Ernie, you did not. Who's Ernie's? What's Ernie's name? Is it Ernie Shell in the actual thing? Okay, sorry, continuing. I don't know who he's talking about, but he's saying he's the only one that cares.
I am the only one that cares. I can't even say. I mean, it's just... And it just is... It's just right there. It's just right there.
Are you on the line?
Yeah. It's just right there. I've sent it in. There's been no change. And I don't know why. I don't know why. We're just not freely coming forward and saying, you know, there could be a wealth of information somewhere. Please come take a look at this information. And maybe if someone asks you about the wealth of information and you don't want to talk about it, or you don't want to be involved in the wealth of information, then it certainly could seem uncooperative. I know I'm trying to be cooperative to bring the little girl home.
This is where I'm just oh, my mic. Did I just mute my mic? No. This is where I'm slightly confused, is like, and this is the part I'm curious about, Kira. You're like, you just don't understand him. I would love to understand him. I think from what I've seen from Benny, and this is where I talk about he seems like a walking contradiction, is that he'll talk about being respectful and having integrity or whatever it is. I watched a lot of his stuff this morning because I'm like, I need to try to understand this guy. But then he'll be off the wall and being the opposite of that, like so disrespectful, so just the opposite of what he says. So it's like, I don't know. Sergeant Friday says best to stay away. Here's the thing. I'm dedicating a live stream to it, and I know Alex, one of the mods, said I can only watch so much of Benny. Look, if he's not your thing, if you guys have watched his stuff and you don't feel like following, that's fine. At some point, you need to watch more of what's going on because, like I said, this guy's too involved now not to watch, if that makes sense. And I know one of the people I watch, Michelle After Dark, who does the walks in the morning. I think she's over in the UK somewhere. You know, she mentions Benny all the time. And then anytime I'm like, okay, let me go see what he's talking about. It just seems like he's there for the wrong reasons, talking about it for the wrong reasons. When he's saying, like, I don't know. It just seems like a walking contradiction, just like Hawkeye said. And I'd love for Kira, you to like point me in the right direction of who he is and like what is his plan? Like, was he eventually going to tell I mean, he doesn't know anything. I mean, he's not speaking in ways that make it seem like he knows something that we don't know. I think he was befriending Candace so he'd get the exclusive Candace live streams. And then now that this Jose thing came out, I just feel like everything is like he was talking to Tim on the phone, who is Tim Mullen, who is the media manager, apparently, the media manager for the Wells. He's not evil. I'm not saying he's evil. I don't know where you got evil, unless people in the chat are saying evil, Kira. Once again, I'm not making any assumptions about who this Benny guy is, but he's clearly inserted himself enough into the story that it's like worth looking at now. And that's why I'm doing this. Sorry about that. But he was talking to Tim Mullen on one of his other videos on the phone. It's like the story to tell video, I believe. And like he made some comments that were basically saying like, why aren't they calling me? We're important. And it's just like, dude, maybe they don't want to talk about you. I don't know. Oh, that wasn't aimed at me. Okay. Kira, I think you know, yeah, you can @ the people if you know their username, because then it looks more directed towards them. I was just curious. Kira, let me know if you want to call in. I'm going to listen in to this story a little bit more. Like I said, this live stream is kind of me just deciding to go live because I was already listening to a bunch of Benny's videos today. I woke up to a DM. I woke up to like 3 DMs. Let me see who all DM'd me. Kira talked to me this morning on DMs. Look up Benny Keys on YouTube. This case is soon to be played. Yeah, this was this morning. Angela texted me this morning, talking. Not you. Not my actual Alexa. Okay. Yeah, so I got a message from Angela this morning talking about the Benny stuff, and so I'm like, okay, I'm dedicating today to just figuring out how he fits into all this. And that's what I'm doing. So, anyways, continuing on.
Because I love you like I do, I gotta be stiff about it. Like, that dude is a sexual deviant.
So this is now Benny talking about Dawn. And I think he's on the phone in this video with Tim.
Let me tell you what, he doesn't just drive to Knoxville and try to find crack. And he's got crack dealers all in his phone. What does he do when he's out there? All kinds of sexual deviism. So if he doesn't have a hooker with him, what is he doing? Smoking crack, looking at pornography from his phone. So all of that stuff is in that phone, and it's on your computer right now. You know Don is involved in the underworld with the drugs and the people that go with the drugs. I mean, all...
These are wild, like, these are bold claims. Bold claims. And so for someone who was seemingly their friend at the beginning of all this, it's like it's erupting. Something's going to happen. So it's like, I don't know if... And a lot of people that did DM me this morning, there's another person on Instagram, but I'm not pulling that up right now. Someone said Benny isn't as much in the limelight right now, and so he's like upset about it. And then boom, here we are, Benny. Hope you're happy. You've got 1,000 people watching our stream, and we're trying to figure out who you are and how you fit into all this. And I know there's a lot of people in here that support Benny. It seems like a lot less that do, but maybe we'll all get a better understanding of what his intentions are with all this. Molly Brown, Aaron BK is that last fly in your home that just won't get out. He's of zero importance except to insert disgusting content. Now he is jealous because Ernie talked to Candace. Here's another thing. You guys are allowed to say like what you want about this whole situation. I'm not going to say, like, I only have what I know about what I've seen from Benny, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just confused. So I'm not here to create a Benny hate train by any means. I'm just trying to figure out what the shift is, because he's always just seemed like someone who is like causing a lot of drama, keeping the Wells on the hook, doing live streams with them, chatting with them. He seemed like very much on their side. So I don't know. Let's listen in a little bit more, because this is it's a long video. I'm not going to listen to this whole thing, but
all of that is in your computer.
These are wild claims to make.
So I would say that in order to clear yourself, you would have to go there and just say, man, look, this is the situation. Because I'm going to tell you what, she don't want to take the phone up there. And I don't know why she wouldn't. Especially when 2 days ago, the sheriff just got through saying they're being uncooperative. So if she knows her husband didn't have anything to do with it, that's what you do. You just rush up there like, Sheriff Lawson, here's Donnie's phone. Please, I'm trying to be cooperative. Run through it, please. Man, you would load up every single device you have trying to be cooperative. You wouldn't just call the news and say, come over here and video me saying I'm being cooperative. Well, guess what? Candace didn't even go on the fucking thing. So she was being uncooperative, even with the media. She created a scenario. Like, how silly is that? I don't know. Like, I want it to be one way. But unfortunately, with the way that I have researched this thing, Tim, it can't be. What we're looking at is a scenario, unfortunately. Now, let me check this out. Don says they're abducted. There is no proof of an abduction, and there's no signs of foul play. What does he say? It's a very real possibility she wandered away from her home and became lost in the mountainous terrain surrounding her home.
Hungry Helmet, I don't believe that Benny had any sort of involvement with the Wells prior to Summer going missing. So no. Also, yeah, I just gave a reminder. I just looked up. There's 1,000 people in here now. We had just over 200 likes. So let's get those likes up so we can keep pushing this out to more people. Maybe Benny will hop in here. Benny, if you're watching, I'm about to open up the phone lines. Maybe you could call in. We could chat. I'm just curious as to, actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if that would go well. I really just want to know his intent for getting involved to this level. You know what I mean? There are some people in the chat that are saying like he absolutely has had a huge plan and all these things. The feds turned up at his house and then he changed his tune. Post on his community tabs. Let me look at his community tab. I think the whole feds thing was not a real thing. Unless that's true that he posted on his community tab, which FBI be looking for this email. Yeah, I don't know. Ashley says, if you listen, he will tell you right here. Oh, like literally right here, Ashley Shelton? Because this is a 3-hour video. If you have timestamps, let me know. Also, if you have already watched these videos and there's a specific timestamp where he says something, feel free to tweet me. My Twitter is down in the bottom right, at Aaron Mull Films. My DMs are open. Tweet me any timestamps of any of Benny's videos that would be interesting to look into. Amanda, I've been waiting 3.5 months for you to send my mom. Oh, I sent it. I ordered it for you, Amanda. I will have to email you. Thank you for sending me that. That is so strange that it did not get into you. Did not get sent to you. Amanda C., I see your comment. I will email you after this. I'm going to write this down to remind myself. Thank you. Jasmine sent a link already. All right, let's see what Jasmine says. Time-stamped. Here we go. Which one should I click first? All right, what is this? Time-stamped. I don't know what he's saying here, but let's play it.
But you got to look at the way that looks, right? Like, so I'm not that anything, but I'm like on the other half of the side, and Johnny's trying to throw me under the bus. Well, and that's what I'm saying. So you also got to understand that the night that you hung up on him on the phone, remember you told me you had a big old blowout with Donnie and you hung up on him and all that? That next day, they came. The next day they came to search. So I have not talked to Donnie in over 4 days. And so 4 days would have put it back to the first day of the searches. So you haven't talked to Donnie since the first day they came to search. No, I have not. Does that seem strange to you or no? I'm not here to make you leave, but no. You're not praying, Benny. And that is very, very fucking strange to me. Does it? It really fucking does.
What's he saying? It's so hard to hear. Jasmine, if you want to text me on Twitter exactly what that was about. So he's saying, Candace was saying she hadn't talked to Don in 4 days. Is she saying, like, when was this? Man, I just need to, I don't know. I'm going to listen to this next one.
Okay.
What's he saying here? It's hard to understand.
Here. Oh boy.
Also, thank you so much, Allison. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being a member for 3 months, by the way.
I need to get out of here and not look back. Well,
Candace says, I need to get out of here and not look back. That could be interpreted in many different ways. She could be saying, like, because in her last live stream, let's be honest, she was talking about it felt like she was saying, like, acknowledging to herself that she needed some help in some way, right? I think it could be out of context. She could be saying, like, I need to get out of here. I need to go get help in all of this. Like, I need to escape this. But yeah, she said, I need to get out of here and not look back. Laura, I also feel uncomfortable with Justice for All and how they descend into utter minutia for hours. Yeah, Laura, I will say, when I was in Justice for All's live stream the other day, I don't know, it must have been last night, because they were talking about Tim Mullen and, like, potentially Benny's laptop getting taken to the FBI, all these things. It is interesting hearing, like they sometimes don't even respond to the people that are in there. They'll be like, okay, see you later. And then no one says anything. I don't know. Anyways, I felt a little weird in their live stream at one point, because I was just like, this just seems like a very fluid thing. Then again, if that's how they're running it, that's fine. I'm going to keep listening to this.
I don't know if Don's involved, it may be hard to not look back.
Yeah,
Let me ask you something. Is there a way Don could have came home and grabbed her without you knowing?
anything's possible.
Yes, there's something in the phone. If Don is involved, not a discussion.
She just said anything is possible. Hold on, let's listen to that bit again.
Home and grabbed her.
Yeah,
Let me ask you something. Is there a way Don could have came home and grabbed her without you knowing?
anything's possible.
That's where I call BS. To some extent, anything is possible. Is there any way Don could have come home and grabbed her without you knowing? Anything is possible? No, Candace. You know that. You know that Jody Sue talked about being able to determine what car was going up the hill. She's like, I could tell when it was the Suburban versus and I believe that because, like I said in a previous live stream, when I used to live with my parents, I would be able to tell when my dad was pulling up versus my mom because they drove different kind of cars, different types of cars. There's no way that Candace would even, yeah, Allie, why is Candace entertaining this? I don't know. No, don't say that because there's no way. She's out there with grandma fixing her knee brace, whatever they were doing post planting the cactuses, repotting the cactuses. You would have absolutely heard Dawn coming up the driveway. So why is she entertaining that? Exactly.
Yes, there's something in the phone. If Don is involved, not have discussed any of this with me, like it's for your own ass. Him has deleted something off the phone. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't. Yeah, so I don't know what you.
Sorry.
Months before I even came around. Statistics because they're real, right? Like,
Whenever Todd was dying, it's like that hurt.
That's getting real hard to understand. I'll play this. What day was this? 15 hours ago? But it's a phone call from a previous... I don't know when this phone call was from, because that's really hard to hear her. Jen Lou says, none of this makes sense. I'd be going nuts searching every day if one of my kids disappeared. Yeah, and here's the thing. There's also criticism around that, and I feel like I've been on that side where I've criticized the way that Don and Candace have handled this whole thing, which, once again, everyone just sitting on the outside has every right to whatever, opinion they have about this, because we're just seeing it play out in front of us. We have to imagine it's been 280 days since Summer went missing, okay? She's not going to be out every day for 280 days looking for her daughter. However, I think that certain things and behavior from the Wells has made this look bad in terms of them, it leads people to make those comments about why aren't you out there, right? Why are you inside making a Amazon wish list, which that's a whole nother thing. She's like, well, that's for the boys' room. The camouflage rug is for the boys' room. The boys aren't coming back if you don't get every bit of your crap together. I don't know. I believe that part was March 2nd. Oh, thank you so much. Andrea. Good afternoon, Aaron in chat. Summer's Army. Good to see you in here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Thanks everyone for being here. I don't know who all is new to the channel, but if you guys are enjoying this, following along with this story, please feel free, in addition to hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep notified for every time we go live. We like to try to keep things pretty civil in here. But we're trying to break this down now. And so that means potentially looking into some slightly more controversial figures. But that's how it goes. Amy, it's a mockery.
I don't think he does that, but
That, oh, you're not my friend anymore. I think you need to leave him.
oh my god. Oh. It's a fire that fucked me up.
Because we have kind of talked about that before. I mean, what'd you say? It was like a month before Summer got gone that he had went to Knoxville with just a little bit of money that came back with a whole bunch of crack.
Yeah. Oh.
I think that's enough for tonight. I don't know, Candy. Like this phone scenario, I guess I assumed he had brought the phone back. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
I think that when Tim said, "Oh, you're not my friend anymore," I think you need to believe him.
Okay.
I think you need to believe him, and I think that there could be a real possibility that Tim is in some way got some sort of strange mental infatuation with Don where, I don't know, I've heard some strange talk out of Tim in the past 7 months. And I do know that it seems like a portion of what Tim is trying to get done.
Y'all do the right thing.
Is Dr. Phil and Netflix kind of shit. And, yeah.
Interesting. Man, everyone just throws everyone's names around in all this, right? Interesting. Patty H, thank you so much for the super sticker. Really appreciate that. Thanks for being here, Patty. So I see some people saying that this was potentially from March 2nd. Okay. Let's keep it rolling, I guess. Jasmine, if there's anything else, since Jasmine, you seem to be pretty buttoned up on these Benny videos. If you have any other timestamps, let me know. I have my Twitter DMs pulled open. Kira, Don's a controller. If there's something I can agree on, or I feel like most people could likely agree on, is that Don 100% was controlling everything. I mean, look at what has happened with this case. The moment Don is now sitting in Hawkins County Jail, everyone is speaking. Candace and Grandma are the two main people that it's very clear that Don was being very controlling. Kira says, yes, he spoke to Candace first on March 2nd. Okay, thank you, Kira. Thank you. Interesting. Beautifully broken. Keep going. Yeah, I'm going to keep going. I know a lot of you guys have probably seen this, but I'm going to keep it rolling.
And I don't know. I don't know what lengths Don and Tim would be willing or able to go to. But let me tell you what. Katie, I'm not fucking with you. This phone situation, this is a problem. Yeah. It's a problem. And I'll tell you why. Because Chris is just under the belief that the phone has been downloaded. Now that would be one thing. Well, that would be one thing if the phone came back and Tim agreed that he had downloaded the stuff off the phone. Now he's just telling you he downloaded the stuff off the phone, but you've not seen the phone again. So you don't know if he has the phone or not.
American Gal, Benny is speaking to Candace on this. It's a pre-recorded phone call. So yeah, he's speaking to Candace in this, talking about the phone. So I take back what I said at the beginning about, where was Benny talking 8 days ago? Well, I guess if this was from March 2nd, that was prior. Yeah, if this was from March 2nd, then the tinfoil video came later. So so many confusing twists and turns to all this. Maria, thank you so much for the super sticker. Really appreciate that.
Now,
let's continue, I guess.
I have the phone now.
You have the phone now.
Yeah.
It's all the same conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Had you been through the phone yourself?
No, I did not, because I'm not like that.
Well,
I don't go to my husband's phone because that's not right.
do you think that this situation is different? And that maybe...
different.
Huh?
I think it's way different.
I think that this situation is a good enough situation for you to go through your husband's phone. I don't think that you have anything to worry about. I think that this is what I think. I think that if you get the phone and you open the phone up,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty easy to find out if shit has been deleted out of the phone.
Okay.
If shit has been deleted out of the phone, that's a problem too.
Right.
You said he had the phone for 2 weeks?
Yeah, Tim did.
Okay. Does Cam or anybody else know about the phone being
Oh, only you do.
only me? Okay. So, I don't know if you're going to like the idea of this,
What's up?
but I think it might be a good move, Candace, if you take the phone
Yeah.
to Sheriff Lawson. If Donnie is on his own,
Imagine Ronnie Lawson's like, no, we don't want that. That has a Twitter on it, right? The app Twitter. We don't like social media, and just hands it back. No. So I mean, this is all very interesting. Obviously, what I see this as isn't. Let me go back to some of these comments because Angel Andrea says, "Is Benny harsh? Yes, but he had to be to keep his cover and in the Wells' good graces to get information." I don't think that this was. I think this is who he is. I think this isn't him like playing a character to get in with the Wells and get dirt on the Wells. Something happened where there's like a flip. I think that this is just who he is. He's a guy. He's a guy that likes to get in on some of these cases and be a disruptor, because that's what he was through all this. Everyone that talked to me about Benny Keys was just like, don't talk to Benny. All he's there to do is, pit people against each other, focus on drama, just all these things. I think he's like, well, heck yeah, like people are talking about the Wells being involved in this, let me be their friends. Like, I think he's a controversial person, and that's okay. Because look, at the end of the day, if this ends up getting information out there that leads to the discovery of what happened to Summer, great. We can all move on to the next story to keep putting attention on. But I just don't think that Benny is who some people think he is, if that makes sense. I think based on what I'm seeing, it just seems like he's kind of trying to wash his hands a little bit now and make it seem like this is how he was the whole time. Oh, this was part of my big plan. And I'm not buying that, just because it's like it just doesn't seem like that this would be the time to just all of a sudden erupt. Like, something happened. Hawkeye says this is how he operates: manipulation, vindictive, opportunist, narcissist. Interesting. Jackie M, I think if TBI wanted the phone, they would have no problem going and getting it. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, but he is an enabler. He's not after the dang reward. He's after the truth. Interesting. All right, continuing on. We'll listen to a little bit more of this.
You certainly... Now, this is the thing. Donnie's in jail. You have to have... It isn't fair. I mean, I know in the world nothing's fair, Harley, but it isn't fair. It's not ethical for him to lump you two together and for him to say that the parents aren't being cooperative.
I'm not like that.
Well,
I know it's going through my hands on the phone because that's not right.
do you think that this situation is different?
I think
that maybe...
it's different.
Huh?
I think it's way different.
I think that this situation is a good enough situation for you to go through your husband's phone. I don't think that you have anything to worry about. I think that this is what I think. I think that if you get the phone and you open the phone up,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty easy to find out if shit has been deleted out of the phone.
Okay.
If shit has been deleted...
Why wouldn't Candace... I mean, look, if Candace ever feared that Don was involved in any way or another, why wouldn't you go through the phone now that Don can't do anything about it? I mean, what is she worried about, right? He is sitting in jail right now. She needs... If she has any doubt in her mind that he was involved in something that, you know, related to Summer's disappearance, it would be a no-brainer. Deals. Marie Deathy Deals. I don't know how to say your full name. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the super chat. Please don't ignore his Cash App, gang. He is making bank and now trying to look innocent. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about this guy to fully give an opinion. That's why I'm going through all of this right now. But like I said at the beginning of this, I'm going through it because it can't be ignored. Benny is too big of a player in this at this stage of the case to not look into how he's been playing, you know, what part he has played in this case. Does that make sense? It'd be like ignoring Hunter, right? If we just heard this story from the very beginning and we're like, well, no, let's not look into Hunter. Not that Benny was with them that day, but Benny was not a friend of theirs. He didn't live across the street. Like, this is somebody who inserted himself into this story from the beginning. And it's been, yeah, I can't ignore it anymore. I wanted to see, like, what's my opinion on this guy. So anyways, thank you so much, Deals, for the super chat. Also, thank you to Mo for becoming a level 1 supporter. Thanks so much. Let's keep listening.
Out of the phone, that's a problem too.
Right.
You said he had the phone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Tim did.
Okay. Does Cam or anybody else know about the phone being in?
Only you do.
Only me. Okay. So. I don't know if you're gonna like the idea of this.
What's up?
But I think it might be a good move, Candace, if you take the phone to Sheriff Lawson. If Donnie is on his own, you certainly. Now, this is the thing. Donnie's in jail. You're out. It isn't fair. I mean, I know in the world nothing's fair, Arlie, but it isn't fair. It's not ethical for him to lump you two together and for him to say that the parents aren't being cooperative. If there's something in the phone, if Don is involved, and you take the phone to them, and you're also not involved, what you do is you get yourself out of the hot water immediately. That is the opposite of uncooperative. If you take the phone to the police, then that is your good faith chip. That's your good faith action. Like, hey,
It's gonna
I am being cooperative.
It's gonna make me dizzy. I'll keep that off the screen. He's just walking around. I'll keep it going in a second. We're talking about Don's phone here. After Don went to jail, apparently Tim Mullen, who is apparently the media manager, I don't think that's even up for debate. I think Tim stepped in and like created the website for the Wellses and all that, the Summer Wells website. Yeah, they're talking about Don's phone because I think Tim had Don's phone, made a copy of it allegedly on his computer. I don't know, but he's trying to get Candace to take Don's phone in.
Operative, here's the phone. This is his phone. If there's anything in it, like, have they ever asked you anything about the phone? You haven't talked to him, right?
No, I haven't talked to him at all.
That's the thing, Candace. I do believe you're thinking along the right terms, the right lines. I think that right now, you do have to create some space between you and Donnie and Tim. I don't know what the fuck they got going on, but the two of them, the two of them, they're thick as thieves, the two of them. So, I don't know what the fuck they got going on. But
See, this is where it does get confusing though, because it's like he should be telling her this offline. Like, I don't know, because Tim is gonna see this. It's just like this is what creates that like hostile environment, is when you just like see, they're involved in this and they're involved in this. You should shut yourself away from them or shut yourself off from them. I think the phone thing is a big deal now because when Don went to jail, you would think the first thing TBI or anyone involved in the disappearance of Summer Wells, the case around Summer Wells, the first thing that they would do, you would think, is obtain that phone if they're able to legally. Once again, I don't know the legality of that because Don didn't go to jail for something that had to do with his phone, right? If he would have went to jail for child P, for example, they found some on his phone and then they were looking into that further or whatever the case was, then they would have a reason to be like, we need to obtain the phone. I don't think that they had legal rights to his phone at that point. He just was going to jail from a, probation violation or whatever the case was. So the phone did go to Tim or whoever it was, and now apparently it's in Candace's hands. I think I think that at this point, Candace is scared. Even though Don is sitting in jail, Candace is terrified of the idea of giving his phone to law enforcement because, look, he's going to get out someday. It's not like Don went to jail and he's serving a life sentence. Don will get out. August 12th, I think, is the day he'll likely be out, depending on if something else comes up. And so I think Candace is scared enough of something, because if there was truly nothing to hide from both Don and Candace, she would turn it in, right? I don't know. Humans, yay, finally someone who will go over the situation, and it's a bit of a situation, or is it? Maybe I'm just confused. It's absolutely a situation. It is confusing to me. Nobody but Candace and Tim knew about the phone until now. Benny knows. TBI doesn't know about that phone or that Tim backed it up on his computer. Yeah, so something happened, right, where Benny's all of a sudden super like gung-ho about doing the right thing and come on, Candace, I'm against Candace, like. And if he wouldn't have even known about it, who's to say that there wouldn't have been another live stream tonight, happily laughing and hanging out with Candace, right? It just seems like the tides have shifted very severely. Okay, Kira, I'm going to send you. I want to talk over some of the controversy around Benny. So if you're still in here, Kira, I'm going to DM you on Twitter, because I believe this Kira from earlier this morning was you, if I am not mistaken. So I'm going to DM you the number. So once I see that you're still in here, Kira, I'll DM you the number on Twitter. That way you can have it and call in. I just want to talk about some of the things, since you seem to be very much on Team Benny, which is fine. I want to know kind of some of the things that you know about Benny. I got a DM also from Jesse Lee saying Benny is claiming to be working undercover. My guess, he is playing undercover because his other hobbies may have been illegal and he's paying a debt. Interesting. Who's to say? Okay, right here. Okay, that is you. I'm going to DM you the number, Kira. I'll keep this playing for a moment.
It doesn't seem like you're on that team anymore. Right? So, I don't know. Like, Tim used to tell me everything. And for him to not have discussed any of this with me, like, it's way more than just getting the videos off the phone. It doesn't, like, that's not the way that works. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what you think about that, but, you know, in the event that your husband did have something to do with it, like, it would be helpful for Summer if there's data on that phone. It's going to be helpful. If Tim has deleted something off the phone, that makes it a problem for Tim now too, because that would put him in the mix, right? I mean, in order to get these boys back anyways, they told you, you got to create space. You got to make distance between you and Donnie. But
what would it truly take for Candace to get the boys back at this point? I don't know enough. This is likely Kira. So let's chat.
Call from
Kira.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hey, Kira. How's it going?
Not too bad, Aaron. How about you?
Doing well. Thanks for calling.
Excellent.
Let me turn you up on my end here a little bit. Okay, so first of all, thanks again for calling. I know that there's a lot of people back and forth in the comments, but I'm excited to just like chat, because I am very unfamiliar with the entirety of the involvement around Benny in this case. But like I've been saying, it just seems too much is going on right now to ignore it. So it sounds like you've kind of been following his side of things more closely throughout the last several months. What are some things that maybe are misconceptions about him, or what are your overall thoughts about Benny and his involvement?
Okay, first of all, and I just want to clear this up for all y'all in the chat. He and Candace were never together. They never had anything going together. They were never going to be together. Maybe Candace thought so, but I'll tell you what, Benny sure as hell didn't.
Yeah.
So I just want to clear that up right away. Because, no, it wasn't that, oh, my God, Candace isn't talking to him anymore. He's going to turn. No, things changed. He realized that things just, well, he knew from the beginning things weren't really adding up. But he didn't know how they weren't adding up. He didn't understand the story. He had to get closer to find it out. In order to get closer to find it out, he had to be nice to them. He had to be nice. He had to get in there. He had to, show them that he cared, that he was one that they could talk to. And so, it wasn't like he knew anything. It wasn't like, okay, these guys are guilty and that's it. I'm just going to hone in on these guys and pretend I'm going to be nice and everything. No, the idea was, as things started coming out little by little, more and more, he'd be like, okay, that's interesting. Let me just kind of keep that. All right, keep going. So like they'd talk about stuff and he'd put things together. Plus he's also big on YouTube too. And a lot of the people in the drama world, in the drama half of the YouTube true crime world, are well into this case. And people like,
so would you consider Benny in the drama side of the YouTube crimes, kind of crime missing persons world then?
I guess so. I mean, if you want to fit him in somewhere, I would say got to go along. He does true crime. He tries to keep up with true crime, but at the same time, he can be caught up in the drama world. Everybody that,
Okay.
Definitely. But he went in it because he wanted to be able to help. He wanted to help this little girl. He wanted to help the family, and he wanted to try to bring her home. And of course, as time went on, there was like, little bits that were like, just weren't quite adding up, but he didn't quite understand how they weren't adding up.
Yeah.
Until it started. Now, like I was saying about the whole drama world, one of the people in the drama world is the teenager that was with them that supposedly, allegedly, I'm going to throw that in right now, allegedly with them that day.
Mm-hmm.
His Hunter. His father has a channel, and his father's been just loosening his lips all over the place. And one of the things that he said was the fact that Hunter is screwed up by this, and he is never going to be the same. Mm-hmm. So it was like, well, if he just went with them and went swimming and then went home, what could screw him up that bad, And then he found out that the whole phone thing. The phone thing is Dawn's phone. Somehow he found out that the day Summer went missing, Dawn has at the very least, an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe more, unaccounted for. He left work early.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew that. And nobody knows exactly where he was during that time. That's why the whole phone call between him and Candace that Hunter was talking about when he said that, the guy was sneaking around the yard or whatever he said, that was true. That was a real phone call, and Dawn really said that. And Dawn could only know that if he was at home.
Yeah. So wait, so you're saying you don't think that they've gotten Dawn's phone between the time Summer was missing and now? Or because they would have...
Yeah, exactly. No. See, he I don't know if he had two phones or he turned one in and kept the other one, but he has a phone that he's had with him since at least the day she disappeared.
That's
and
surprising.
Benny's more or less saying that, there could be some information on that phone as far as where he went, especially the day that she disappeared, where he went in the days after she disappeared, where he was. That information can be on that phone, and you're not turning it in. That's what that's all about.
Because I find it definitely hard to believe that there was a phone that they haven't seen. I mean, I guess there could have been a secret phone that, because not everyone has two phones as well. I think obviously people, when they hear about people that do have two phones, they're immediately thinking, oh, that's kind of shady. Like, why do you have two phones? He could have certainly gotten a phone between now and then that would have valuable information on it for sure, especially if he's talking between other people about that day. There could be definitely valuable information about June 15th. But I feel like they would have really dropped the ball if they didn't get every device that he could have had his name attached to. But then again, crazier things have happened. I thought they were more so
terminology. Oh, but honey, they have dropped the ball since the beginning on this. For honest to God, like there's like just so much that just like I said, all this information that you just played, that we just heard, all those phone calls, everything, he turned those into TBI 3+ weeks ago.
Yeah.
3+ weeks ago, like right after he had the conversations, he turned them in. And I know there was one that he had with Candace not too long ago, I think within the past week, because he mentioned the FBI coming to his house. And that was something completely different. That had nothing to do with this case, and they didn't take any of his stuff, and I want to lay that one to rest right now, too.
Okay. So a couple people are messaging. I don't know if you have the chat pulled up as well at the same time. They're asking your involvement. Like, how did you find Benny? Are you related to Benny in any way? People are wanting to know kind of how you know some of these things. I know some of these things could have been said in his videos. Like I said, I haven't seen every single one of his videos. Some of them are super long. It's just hard to go through every single thing. So even just like the info that you just said is how are you finding that info out?
I actually found him quite by accident. I found him on YouTube. Searching the Summer Wells case. I've been doing my own research, for my channel. I wanted to do a clip on it, but it's such a mess. So I'm kind of afraid of it. But anyway, I found him by accident searching for stuff about Summer, and he came up. And so, I've been watching him. I mean, I guess I understand him. I don't know. It's the kind of person I am, I guess. I've always rooted for the quote-unquote underdog. And, I see people like, oh, gross, Benny. And so, I want to go check it out. And it's like,
So he's an underdog? He's technically considered an underdog to you? Is that kind of what you're saying?
I don't know. Well, I guess kind of in the YouTube world, just because he's not, as you can see in your chat, he is not widely loved.
Yeah.
He is not. People do not. He is rough around the edges, and I won't even begin to deny that.
Yeah.
I have no right to deny that because he is rough around the edges. But if you can get past that roughness and you can get to the middle, you can see what kind of a good guy he is. He's here. He's here for the truth. He's been here for Summer since day, and he's always said that. Because people are always like, oh, why are you always pulling for Candace and Don? No, he's not pulling for Candace and Don. He's pulling for the truth. He's always believed in due process. Without any sort of information, without any sort of evidence that they did anything, he wasn't going to be like, oh, yeah, how could you kill your baby? He didn't know that. He wasn't going to stand there and scream that at them. He's, like I said, he's been looking for the truth. And he ends every single one of his streams with the evidence of absence. I'm sorry, wait a minute, hold on. Just remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. And it's the truth. All along, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Things are not what they seem. And he's been right the whole way. I want to touch back on that the Hunter thing. It's now believed that Hunter wasn't there at all, that he might be in on whatever happened to her, wherever she is. Believed, alleged. I didn't say anything about it. It actually is. So let's not completely quote me by saying, oh my God, she said that. No, it is believed that maybe he wasn't actually there at all.
Okay.
And that's why this is and also, and actually this is more or less known out there, so I guess it's okay for me to say that he was taken away from his parents about 3.5 months ago.
You're talking about
away from his mother, rather. He's in foster care.
Yeah, he's in New York, right?
I don't think so. I think he's. I'm not actually. I don't know where he is. I can't. His father was from New York. I don't know if that's maybe where you're getting that.
Gotcha. Okay.
His father lives in New York. Yeah. So and like I said, his father has a YouTube channel, and he's like, he came right out and said that Hunter is never going to be the same again. He screwed up by this. He's never going to be the same. So like, that's where I'm going with it. And like I said, alleged. If why would he just be so screwed up from just hanging out with them for the day? You know what I mean? Like, okay, granted, she went missing later that day, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I don't know about I don't know what to think of the whole Hunter not being there thing. That I feel like is a bit of a stretch, just because there are time-stamped videos with Hunter. I mean, unless that isn't confirmed, that they were able to confirm that those TikToks were made.
That's what I'm saying. See, and that's another thing. Sorry, because that was one thing.
But I don't think there's much of a reason to not believe that he was there, right? So that just is getting into like a weird, like why? What would be the reason to not believe Hunter would be there? It just seems like a weird kind of like twist to the story. I'm not exactly sure where exactly that came from. Yeah.
Because I mean, this is all so brand new. I caught the first stream last night. I didn't realize he did this. As a matter of fact, I hadn't even heard the entire second part of the stream yet, because he did that kind of middle of the night, and I didn't catch that. And then I saw him this morning talking about it, so I have to go back and catch that second one. But in that first stream, actually in that first stream last night, he was talking to Tim.
Uh-huh.
About Hunter in the question of why would he be so screwed up by that? What are you holding back? What are you not saying? Yeah. What is not being said about what happened with Hunter? Why is he so screwed up about hanging out for a couple hours? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what all else I have to say. Obviously, there are conflicting opinions in the chat. Like I said, I don't know if you have it all pulled up, but.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right in front of my face.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand it all, just because from what I've gathered is that like he just seems like kind of always in a different position on things, or like he's always either fired up about something, saying like super. Like you said, he's a controversial person. None of it has ever really, to me, seemed like he really cares that much, if that makes sense. It just seems like he only talks when there's something dramatic to say. So that's where I'm just like, I don't know what his true intents really are, or his true intentions. But yeah, so I don't know. I still am just trying to figure it out and form the opinion.
Bottom line, he's always been for the truth. He's always been for this little girl. Always. That's all he's ever been looking for, is we need to bring Summer home.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be controversial. People might look at him like, oh, my God, I can't believe he just did that. But you know what? Things are rolling. Things are happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Amy, I am from Massachusetts. Thank you.
Someone guessed where you're from, huh?
Amy said this caller sounds like she's from Massachusetts. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Amy is very good at pointing out people from the Northeast. She knows those.
I'm kind of surprised by that, because I don't really have too much of my Massachusetts accent anymore.
It's just enough for Amy, though. Amy has literally called that out on like 3 people before. 3 people that have called.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
You go, girl, because you got it. You got it. Yes, I am from Massachusetts. So no, I don't know Benny. I have never met Benny, and no,
okay.
he doesn't. I'm not jumping through hoops for him. I like the guy, okay?
Yeah,
I want to stand up for him.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in and giving your input on it, because like I said, I'm just trying to use this as an opportunity to learn more about him, figure out kind of...
and that's another thing, and I see y'all saying that in the chat. No, he's not in it for the money. He is not. Does he take Cash Apps and PayPal? Yeah, he does. Nobody has to send them.
Mm-hmm,
he doesn't ask anybody to send them. People just send them. He is not in his channel isn't even monetized.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
No, H is not locked up.
I may hop off. I may open up the phone lines towards the end, and if you are wanting to step back in and comment on something that maybe we've been chatting about, I might open the lines back up. But thank you so much, Kira. And we'll see you in the chat.
Sounds good.
Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So that was Kira. I need to address a couple super chats. Nicole B, thank you so much for the super chat. Not all people that smoke pot are bad people. Look, every single person in this chat right now, I'm sure knows somebody that you probably don't even know potentially smokes the silly lettuce, and you probably have no idea, and they're probably wonderful people. There are good people and bad people that do everything. So yeah, I don't know where that comment was rolling around in the chat, but yeah, that's totally the truth. Same thing goes for a lot of things, right? There are people that can handle alcohol and people that are absolute evil beings when they drink too much alcohol. So that's totally a thing. Also, Deals, thanks again for that. Stepford wife. I don't know exactly what you were referring to there, but thank you so much. And thank you to Lens of Grace. Aaron, Kira knows nothing personally about Benny. She is repeating what BK has said. She doesn't know the past or truth about BK. I hope she wakes up and gets far away from him. Thank you for all your work. Grace, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for being here. Yeah, I wanted to bring Kira on because, she has definitely always been a Benny. She's always defended Benny. And I think that there's a lot more defense for Benny coming from people that are in the chat, because I certainly am hopefully not coming across as a Benny hater. I'm just trying to understand who Benny is and why he's gotten to this level of involvement. I don't think it's because Benny is this secret undercover guy that you caught him, he was undercover this whole time, he was, I don't think, and that's not to say that I don't think Benny's smart with the way he's been doing this. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand Benny and his reason for his involvement. Let's everyone be nice. We can still go back and forth somewhat in the comments, and I see some of those comments, but let's just be somewhat civil, right? I think the beauty of like having a YouTube channel and like being able to follow this stuff, especially right now with 1,500 other people, is the fact that we can all chat with each other. So I think that's what's cool about it. So in the chat, let's all be somewhat civil, even though it's also a place for discussion. So thank you guys. We're going to listen to a little bit more of this stream. I'm going to find what it is I'm trying to see from earlier. Carol says, Aaron, you are much smarter than this. You should not be exposing your audience and yourself to this woman and her clear propaganda to build up blood money as some kind of hero. Yeah, I don't think even Kira said in her call that he was a hero of some sort. I'm not trying to give anyone a platform to build anyone up like that by any means. I think as I'm looking at it, I'm just trying to better understand who he is, why he's so fired up all of a sudden. Because, like I said, 2 weeks ago, 8 days ago, this is him. He's just hanging out with Candace. He's the type of guy, I feel like I know the type of guy he is based on kind of like his aggression that I feel like he has. And like I said, at the end of the day, he may care for Summer. He might. I don't know. Probably does to some extent. But I feel like I know people like this that'll snap on you if you just say the wrong thing to them. And I feel like that's maybe the type of person he is. And right now, Candace isn't on his good side or on his side at all. So of course he's gonna be quick to turn his shoulder. But that's once again just what I'm gathering. But yeah, this was just 8 days ago, so things have changed. That's for sure. Lens of Grace, you do great work. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Also, Tech Decker 9100 says, praying we can get past all this nonsense and find out where this child is and what happened. She deserves justice. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's not forget that it's been 280 days since Summer Wells went missing, and it's that's the whole reason why we're following along this story, is that she's still out there. So we don't know the true story of what happened to Summer. There's a lot going on in the chat. Oh my goodness. Should I open up the phone lines again? Should I continue opening up the lines? Would anyone type in the chat if you would like to call in and talk about either Benny, Jose, any of the stuff that's been going on? Let me know if you would call in if I open up the chat, and I might open them back up. Adam's Lost House Cat says, I accidentally found this channel, but it seems great. Y'all seem great. Well, thank you. I feel like we are pretty civil here. And even on today, a day like today, where we are chatting over a person in this case that is somewhat controversial, for the most part, people are pretty civil. We're allowed to disagree, just like Alex says, but only respectful agreement will be allowed in the chat. So I think it's one of those things. We can touch on some of these harder topics, more controversial topics. But yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, and if you have just stumbled across the channel and you'd like to follow along for future live streams, join the crew. We're at 21,000 strong right now. So everyone hit that subscribe button if you just came across the channel today. I'm going to reopen the phone lines. Alex, I know that Alicia is no longer in here right now. If you have the Google Voice number on your end and you'd like to post the Google Voice number, I will pin that comment if you have it. If not, let me know. I can post it as well. Cheryl says the chat is going so fast. I know. I set it to every 30 seconds that you can chat. I should have set it slower. Slow mode, 30 seconds. I'm going to change it to 60. So it may refresh, but it should be I'm going to do 45, actually. I'm going to do 45. Everyone can chat every 45 seconds. So make your chats worth it, because you only get to post in the chat every 45 seconds. Slow mode is on every 45 seconds. Here we go. Civil and decent, still opinionated. Love this channel. Thank you so much. Benny was in Tennessee for a weekend. He put cameras up, which linked to his phone. Angie, is that true? I'm going to pin Alex's comment. If you would like to call in, the number is 305-985-2690. It is not a person-by-person thing. You can't just get in line. So you want to call that number. And if I'm on with someone else and you want to try to get in on the next call, just try to call in when it seems like we're starting to wrap up. I'm going to try to keep the calls to about 5 minutes. So feel free to call in, talk about anything we've talked about today. Yeah, Dova, love your calm demeanor as well as appear understanding. New sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Tracy and Benny is definitely in Tennessee. He's not there now. He's been there. Yeah, I've seen photos of Benny in Tennessee for sure. Allison, thank you. All right, until someone calls in, let's just listen in a little bit more on this.
That's verbatim. I got that down. How could Don and Candace be called not cooperative when the sheriff thinks she wandered away? After 8.5 months of her wandering away.
Oh, we have a caller already. All right.
Call from
Kimberly Craig.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
Am I calling on your channel right now?
You are, yeah. If you have me pulled up on your end, you might have to mute me since there's going to be a delay. But yeah, you're calling in.
Okay. I'm called Kimmy from Canada.
Oh,
and
cool.
Let's just say Benny Keys put a murder on Darian Brown because there's something going on with that case. Because remember how Benny Keys says about, I can't hear you. Sorry.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay.
But
with Benny Keys, see, at the start of the case with this, I called my police here. There's a long story with me, and my channel members know about me now. With everything going on with Ukraine and everything, I have a long story. I'm going to build a sweat lodge, all these things, but I see things. And Benny Keys did something with the cameras. I had SP News look into that when I left because I was able to call her in like I am with you right now. And there's all these channels. There's about channels that made spin in the time of COVID. So you would get these cash up, gang bang. And it was around the time where everybody was locked up in their homes. So you have people locked in without credit, with credit cards, spinning hate. So when I wasn't able to be friends with these people spinning hate, it came to the point where I went to music with the help of BX Beastie Boys. And when I came back shortly after, my family gifted me.
What is this story? I'm so sorry. I might have to end the call because this doesn't make much sense for what's going on.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. I'm so sorry to end your call. I don't know where that was going. She made she said something about Benny at the beginning of that, so it was definitely Benny related at the beginning. Sorry. I don't like hanging up on people. Also, she was talking about people being cooped up during COVID and this whole YouTube stuff. Let me remind a lot of people, maybe some people just found that YouTube has existed, Twitch, all these things where people give super chats and all this. This has been going on for a long time, long before COVID. COVID helped push people into this like mindset of like, oh wow, I can like follow people online and help support them and do whatever. But that's been happening a while. I have friends that make upwards of like $400,000 a year as like YouTubers. So this is not a new thing. But yeah, sorry about that. Also, Carol, thank you so much, Carol, for the super sticker. Carol, you're amazing.
Call from
Carol Johansson.
To accept, press 1. To
Is this
send a
the same
voicemail,
Carol?
press 2.
No, Carol Brown. Okay. Hey, Carol, how's it going?
Good. Is this Aaron?
It is. Thanks for calling.
Hi. I'm happy I got through.
Yeah.
Should I just go ahead and say what I wanted?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what do you... Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I am calling in response to the previous caller who was speaking about Benny Keys and his intentions.
Okay.
I know about Benny Keys very well. I've known about his history as a convicted felon, his multiple children that he does not support.
Okay. So you
there
100%
are
know, or
7.
this is all alleged? Because
I've heard this out of Benny's mouth. I've seen him on multiple channels. He has been on the Armchair Detective. He was on, I don't know whose channel it was, but he was with Monica Sherrard in the Cash Gernon case there in Texas, and he lives in Texas. So Cash Gernon was abducted on CCTV and later found murdered in the street. He was a little 4-year-old boy. That case obviously gained a lot of attention, and Benny quickly inserted himself into that situation. He initially contacted Monica. She was Cash and his twin brother's caregiver, and he contacted her ostensibly to fix up some things around the house. They had a broken lock, and apparently that's how the intruder got in. So he did fix that and boarded up some windows because people had actually thrown rocks through her windows. So that obviously was a good thing of him to do. And I think a lot of people saw that and thought, what a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, it came out through multiple text messages from Benny that he, in fact, was using Monica, that thousands of dollars, in his words, were coming in every week,
Mm-hmm.
and that he was using that money, using her physically, and also buying drugs with that money and getting high in that situation where there was just a little boy murdered. He went on a lot of channels then and got quite a bit of attention. So his next move was to the West Boys, Classic and Sincere, or Orrin and Orson West.
Yeah.
He tried to insert himself in that case, but there is one gentleman, A.V. Watchman, who has been really instrumental in keeping the information truthful and factual about the investigation of the West Boys. He went out, that is A.V., went out for, I think he's still searching nearly daily for the boys, and he has kept a clean, everything is clean about A.V. He, I think, had to physically have an altercation with Benny to remove him from trying to get himself involved in that case, because A.V. had seen his reputation coming and could just see what kind of person he is. The reason his name is Benny Blood Money Keys is pretty obvious. He follows cases where there are missing and endangered children or murdered children and inserts himself into the family where he knows that whether they are liked or not, there will be money involved, because some people are always going to support families of missing and murdered children, as they should. And Benny attaches himself to that quite readily and later goes on to laugh about it. So I've seen him do this now over the course of 3 years with 3 different children, and the pattern has been the same.
Yeah.
In trying to become a spokesperson, getting close to the family, and meanwhile just using the family, particularly vulnerable women, which I would say Candace is certainly one.
Yeah, that's the thing that it seems like to me. It's just like Candace has clearly not had super great male figures around, so for someone to come in and just give her the attention, give her the floor to speak freely, it's like obviously Candace is going to take well to that. So that's where I've just been like, it just feels like that's what's going on.
It's love bomb is what it is.
Yeah.
And he does that quite readily. He also uses, what some people would consider a sophisticated vocabulary in order to make himself appear educated, which he's not. And that's not a slam on people who don't have, higher education, but he doesn't. And he has street smart, essentially, because of spending time in prison. He learned quite a bit there. And that's where he runs his con. He's learned how to get by off of these tragic cases. And so I just wanted to let any viewers know that don't know, you can go back and probably find that information about Benny Keys through the various cases he's tried to attach himself to, probably just by Googling him. I wouldn't trust the word out of his mouth. And quite frankly, one of the worst things that I heard him say that was just so obviously, he was just so obviously, lying, was when we questioned why Summer would cover her private areas often or be holding herself there, and which was sometimes caught in photographs. And his explanation was, well, maybe she was just camera shy. I mean, if you can't be any more oblivious, it's obtuse. Camera shy children don't smile. They look away from the camera. They run from the camera. They don't cover their privates. And I think that Benny knows that. And so that's just gaslighting is what it is, you know, to pretend that that's what's going on and that that's not a clear and present sign of some type of abuse. It's documented. So that's the message Benny wants to get out. And so I don't think he has Summer's best interest or Candace's best interest at heart at all, or the other children at all. I really don't.
Yeah.
And so would be really wary of anything that you hear out of his mouth.
All right. Well, thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
You have one of the classiest chats and shows on YouTube.
Well, thanks.
You really do. And I really respect you for that. So thank you, Aaron.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Yeah. Bye. Well, that was nice. Look, that's another prime example. There's a lot of people that really were agreeing with that caller, and some of you probably know more about Benny and have followed him, you know, longer through all of this. I'd like to know what some other YouTube creators think, just because I've avoided kind of talking about it because he just seems so controversial.
Call from
Junior.
It's Junior again.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much.
Not much. Nice. Got through again. I came late to the stream, like 3/4 of the way, and I'm kind of trying to catch up. And I hear a lot of stuff about the Benny dude, the new dude, the new info. But I was kind of hearing when, like I said, I'm late, but if anything, he might be cracking something new if he's like talking to Candace saying, yo, give up the phone and you might be cool, you know, and that might open up her view of like, oh shit, I'm fucked. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Oh shit, I'm like screwed, you know?
Yeah.
I'm screwed with the whole situation, but we all know how plea deals go and this and that, and people can get like less of a harsher punishment, you know? And like we were talking about, you know, if you just, the more you talk about it, the more that can come out of it. And I even thought when I was hearing that video of him talking to Candace, I thought she was going to go, okay, you know what, this and that and that and this, you know? So I feel like the more you talk about it, it's going to be prying open, you know, like we talk about new doors and new views for sure.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's where it's like, I haven't purposefully, I've purposefully avoided some of Benny's videos because it just doesn't seem like it's super productive. But at the same time, when he's talking to Candace specifically, like, you can't deny the fact that in a case like this where Candace is one of the people that many are looking at the most in potential involvement, like, it could be valuable. So yeah, there could be something that comes of it. I don't know what to make of his involvement and what his intentions are, because he just seems like such a controversial dude.
I feel it.
But yeah, I mean, she
yeah.
could slip up, and yeah, he could be really, I don't know what his intentions are, but something could come of it for sure. Because if law enforcement weren't aware of this other phone that Don apparently had, like, I don't know how late you came into the stream, but apparently
I heard that.
Yeah, when Don went to jail, like, they're talking about this other phone that, like, their media manager or something obtained and, like, made a copy of. Like, if they aren't aware of that, like, there could be valuable info on there. Like, if it's Don talking to Candace on a text or Don talking to a friend about this or that. So I don't know.
Definitely.
I think that something's got to give, and I know I keep saying that on each one of these streams, but it feels like something at this point is going to slip, whether it's Benny saying something that Candace said or Candace coming clean. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like and also that one guy who went on the property, that old first video where he was kind of letting Candace do most of the steering and the talking, you know, I feel like that's really productive, you know. And I think when she feels comfortable like that not scared, she ends up like, should I say more? I don't know yet, you know, maybe, because obviously she was, I think, intoxicated on a couple other videos.
Yeah.
And you know, that old saying, loose lips sink ships, you know, so people when they're usually drunk or high, they'll say it, but you got to be on another level when you're intoxicated or not, you know. I don't know if she was or not, but you got to be on another level when you're intoxicated and you can still hide the truth. You dig that?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I know what you're talking about with the interview with Chris from the interview room, though. Like, that's the opposite side of the spectrum, where she's like, I'm trying to present myself as this complete opposite person, and she can almost come across like you can slip as much there as you can when you're under the influence too. So that's why I think those early interviews with Chris are so valuable, because she's like trying to paint herself a very specific way, and I think that's valuable to look back on for sure.
Most definitely. Yeah, but I keep up with you all the time, and it's kind of the case has kind of been stale, like we've been covering, but these two new figures, are shedding light on different aspects, of the whole case, and it's better just to have. I'd rather have that,
more
than
info,
than to not be getting anywhere, at all.
Yeah. The last thing you want to do is have the case go cold somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. And you always got to take it with a grain of salt, regardless of who it is. It don't matter.
For sure.
Just keep an open mind on because everyone, no one's a saint, Everyone's got their own little shindig and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Junior spitting facts. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure, Aaron. Yeah, I don't want to take your time. I see the 5 minutes on my phone. Oh, by the way, I had to add your weather, Florida, so I know what time, because I forgot you guys are ahead. But it's 2:00 over here.
Yeah, you're in Cali,
for
right?
sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nice,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Nice. Well, enjoy it, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, for sure.
All
I'll
right.
watch the beginning of the video when you guys end it, for sure. Have a good one, Aaron.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Hell yeah.
All right, later. Junior calling in. Junior seems like a very, very nice guy. A lot of people were saying some nice things in the chat. Thank you to Curious Cat for the super sticker, the For You super sticker. Curious Cat, really appreciate that. Also, Ran 5150 for becoming a level 1 supporter. Really appreciate that as well. Guys, great calls. We do have the phone lines still open. I'll take one more call if someone wants to call in, and then I might listen a little bit longer to one of Benny's videos here. Because here's the thing. What Junior was just saying there is like, Benny isn't a new figure. We've got Jose. That's this kind of new. He's not a new figure. He's been spoken of, but he's now come forward and said a lot. Benny isn't necessarily new. I mean, Benny's been around this whole time. It's just now Benny. It's just like you can't look away from what's going on with Benny, with the calls, with the calls with Candace, and then now him flipping and crumbling, and it just seems like so weird to go from being completely on their side to completely not. And I think that's where I'm at with all this. Rita says, BK is undercover. I do believe. I don't want no phone. Oh no, Benny's not undercover. That's not how that works. At least I don't think. I don't think Benny's undercover. I guess I don't know everything, but yeah. Holly Dolly, thank you. Great live. Appreciate it, Holly. Actually, we're going to listen in a little bit more. I'm going to end so no one called right away. I'm going to remove the phone lines. We're going to listen in a little bit more to this here. All right, we're going to open this up. Also, thank you to the 784 people who have hit the like button. That's basically half the people that are in the live stream right now. Thank you, guys. Also to the people who have chosen to follow along for the journey. 21,500 people. Thank you, guys. Also, Saleo37, welcome to being a level 1 supporter. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to this next part. We're going to listen in a little bit more on Benny's video from this morning.
Do the right thing, Ernie. Help her get this phone in here, bro. You want to do some general awareness? Tell her to get that phone in there, bro. Help her get that phone in there, bro. You can't. I couldn't make her get the phone in there. I couldn't do no more about the phone. I tried and I tried and I tried. I'm not doing shit in Tennessee. Unless it's to go there to do everything except hang some drywall. Yeah, you could think of that, whatever. You could think of that comment, whatever you want.
Benny's, no, I'm not going to go there because I don't like to get into the drama. I just want to look at this from the perspective of the overall story of Summer being missing and his involvement. Yeah, anyways, I don't want to comment beyond that. Patty, thank you so much for the super chat. Great job, Aaron. Well, thank you, Patty, and thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, she thinks Don's gonna flip on her. She don't want to take that. She don't want to take that phone in, huh?
She thinks Don's gonna flip on her?
Misdemeanor. Where you at? Misdemeanor. What'd you say?
He's talking to his chat again. Team Rose, I tried to call. Team Rose, do you want to call? I mean, you can call in. I opened it back up. Team Rose, if you can get in and be the first one to call, this is the number, Team Rose, 305-985-2690. Be the first one to call in and you can call. Team Rose, I feel like I saw you in the chat the other day talking about calling in. This is your chance. I'm going to keep it open for one more call because I did say one more call. So if you can get in on that, Team Rose, there's the number.
Your serial killer daddy that's on the street. Big love for you, man. I couldn't have.
I feel like, yeah, what does he say here?
Why you didn't run and get that phone and take it to the fucking police?
He is intense, man. He's intense. There's no denying that.
Funny. She's saying she don't want nothing to do with me? Good looking ass. Take the fucking phone. That's all this is about. Take the fucking phone. Instead, you're over there with this silly shit. Take the phone.
Yeah, he really is just an intense guy, right? Like I said, like 8 days ago, he's just hanging out with tinfoil hats on with Candace. He's the kind of guy that flips like that, like instantly. He's way too worked up about this. Exactly, Angela. Benny is seriously unstable. I'd hate to cross his path. Yeah, I mean, where in any of this is the care for Summer? He's like, for you to flip like this, I don't know.
Look here, man. If it's something on that phone, it don't matter how much money you procure this morning. It don't matter. All this weird ass shit you tried to make between me and you. I'm not gonna let up. She been in that motherfucking me phone. Hell yeah, she been in that phone, lying ass bitch. Take the motherfucking phone.
I should have gave a disclaimer about the language, but it is what it is.
For you two. For you too. You should be in a rush to take them phones up there. Why you not in a rush to take them phones up there?
All right, let's see who this is. This is the last call.
Call from
Team Rose.
We got Team Rose
to
in the
accept,
chat.
press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Team Rose, how's it going?
Hi, Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling.
Appreciate it. I love your channel. It's so nice. It's so calm and nice, and it feels so like you just control it well. I don't feel attacked. It just feels great.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's the last thing I want to do is like have it be a place of people attacking people. I certainly don't want to do that because then, what fun is that? So.
Exactly. Well, I noticed too, your mods are not jumping on me either. Like sometimes mods will just jump on me if I'm new to a channel, and I'm always like, shoot, I'm not a troll. I promise, I'm here for good. But that sometimes that happens because I'm energetic. I have a lot to say.
Oh, well, nice.
So, okay, where do we begin here? There's just so much. I mean, I don't know where to begin with what I have to offer.
Have you been following the case for a while, or?
Oh yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm one of those obsessed. I don't follow Benny Keith as often because I find him. I can only follow certain people whose I like the sound of their voice, or I just enjoy their energy or whatever. And I appreciate you showing some of his highlights because I honestly am behind on it. I heard he was turning on Candace and Dawn. I heard that last night. Mm-hmm. I heard that maybe he's this is a whole big, huge, incredibly masterful plan against Candace and Dawn, where he is pretending to be their friend, but is actually like CIA or something, right? So there's that.
Yeah.
And that's hard to believe because it's gone on for so long, and he's been although he's a very intelligent guy, you can tell that. And I often think when I do listen to him, I often think, God, if this guy was raised in a certain kind of world or with a certain kind of family, he'd probably be a big lawyer on Wall, or a big financier on Wall Street or something. He's obviously very bright. So he could be an actor because he's so smart. He could be.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear though that I thought this was significant. I heard this from someone who had been in prison for 3 years and was talking about it, and they were saying that. Because I've never been in prison, so that's not a world I really know. And prison and criminals, there's like a whole language of their own that regular people like me or maybe you, you seem like a normal, nice man, right, in a normal American life, right?
Right.
The criminal underworld is completely different from us, and they have a totally different code of ethics.
Yeah.
They've their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing I heard was that worried me, of course. Was that if you promise to do certain things, if you're a criminal and you've been in jail or you've been in prison and you're trying to get out or you're trying to make deals, and they do, because of course they're trying to get out of there, right? It's horrible. That if you help do certain things, like, for example, help traffic a child, help sell a child, help get a child. If you're willing to help get a child, because prisoners, they don't like child pedophiles, apparently. Have you heard that too? Where they'll really beat the crap out of.
Oh yeah, I've definitely heard that. Yeah.
Right. So you don't want to be you don't want to be a child abuser in prison because that's allegedly against criminal code. Even though half of them are probably doing it too. But the argument for anybody who's been a criminal, there's plenty of those in this story, right? You've got Jose, you've got perhaps Hunter's dad, and all that group of people that came to stay at Candace at the Wells house that back then when Jose was introduced to the Wells, so all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing there? That's very suspect to me.
It's so strange, like how many people were at that house. Like, it just...
Exactly.
And there were people in my comments that were saying, or in another live stream, that I was hearing, that they were just saying like, oh, when I was a single mom in my 30s, like I absolutely had people over, anyone that would help, cook, clean, whatever. And apparently Jose did help with some of that. But I'm like, well, yeah, but your house probably had doors.
That's different. Okay. So.
Yeah. Like this house wasn't fit for
another
another person. Like where were these kids at when there were 3 adults sleeping? Like it's just a weird dynamic. So yeah, sorry, continue.
Very weird. Very weird. Now, nothing makes sense in this story unless you bring in the trafficking issue, which some people just will not discuss. Some people just can't go there. But then nothing makes sense. Everything makes sense if you're willing to look at the bigger picture and the trafficking, in my opinion. All of a sudden, all the pieces make sense. The guys there, Jose, because the thing is, I think about it a lot. And I listen to as many people as I can to try to get a sense of this. And then I just use my own intuition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jose, also I go by the sound of people's voices. If they sound like they're not lying. You can hear it in their voice if they're lying, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can sort of sense that sound of disingenuousness.
Yeah.
You know?
So what are your thoughts on Jose then? Is that where you're going with this one?
Yeah. Well, I listened to, well, I'm like a super sleuth when it comes to honesty and truth and lies and just people who are, that's my, if I had a talent, I would say I can tell when someone's lying because by the frequency in their voices sound. So to me, I listened to him. I appreciated all he said about Summer. I was glad he filled in about the obvious. We already saw the condition of the house, so that wasn't really news. But he validated everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. But this, to me, with all due respect to whatever and everyone, and obviously people have come from lives they come from. They got to do what they got to do, and I get it. And we're not everybody's born with whatever. But to me, listening to his voice, the whole thing was just one smooth, long, slight lie. Just so. And the way he defended the women, to me, that was like, he's a real player. Also, the fact that he moved in, and then if you allowed to go there with the trafficking, it makes sense that he moved in, got to know the family, so that they would trust him. And he's in there playing daddy and cooking and cleaning, thank God, right? Then they'll love him because he's playing daddy. So he is to me, he is the perfect potential trafficker here, schmoozing in, getting to know. If anybody's a player, it would be him over Benny. I would even make him more so because, right? Not to mention the fact that Don had been going to Mexico a bunch of times. And let me just ask you something. This is also extremely weird and significant, and I'm going to make my own video on this. Did you hear the call that Candace made to Mary, and she's bawling her eyes out, and she says that Don has been arrested and taken to Boston, and she's bawling her eyes. Have you seen that clip?
I don't think so. No.
Oh my God, you got to see it. You have got to see this. Okay, so when this stream ends, and the next time you have a second. Where I heard it was on Christina Randall's channel, and please go there. I'm going to do that too. I've been doing it today as well, but go and listen to that.
Okay.
It's extremely important. Okay, so let me just tell you quick. Christina Randall's great. She was one of the many people that have been in prison who talk about prison life, and so I learned from her because I've not been to prison. I hope never to go. She does this thing on Candace, and now she believes what I think is a lie, which is that this phone call was a hoax. I think that's bullshit, excuse my French, because Candace, we have not seen her cry very much, right?
Yeah.
In this phone call, she is bawling her eyes out. And I write down Christina Randall, and the one that's got, it says Candace. Who is Candace? She does the whole thing on this. She does all these things on this story. So she does Who is Dawn? She got some great information there. She does a video called Who is Candace? And that's where you hear this call. Now, she thinks the whole thing was a hoax. But if you listen to that call, it is long. She is bawling her eyes out. She is sobbing uncontrollably. She is terrified that Don has been taken away and that he's been part of the Mexican mafia. And she brings up this number, $80,000. Then he's going to hate that I say this at all. But whatever. I'm not in here for whatever. I just know that you got to be careful sometimes, but too late for me now. I already got hitmen on me. That I'm running from actually in real life. But anyway, so when you hear, getting involved in true crime has just gotten me in trouble with hitmen. My life has totally changed in this true crime. I didn't even mean to do it. I don't even like true crime. I just am obsessed with Summer Wells because I believe this case, the solving of this case is going to lead to the solving of a whole lot of missing children, because I think it's all connected. Missing is code for trafficking. Anytime law enforcement tells parents to stay inside and don't look and leave it up to law enforcement, that is code for this kid was stolen, and the parents probably agreed to it, in my opinion. Who tells parents to stay inside and not look unless they've made a deal with those parents and it's all pre-staged? That's my opinion. So this Candace call, everyone's got to listen to this because she is bawling her eyes out and she is terrified that Dawn has been taken forever, that she's all alone. She's sobbing. I'm all alone. No, I have no one now. He's been taken to the Mexican mafia. It's all related to the Mexican mafia. This to me is telling the whole damn thing. And it's this hidden little piece of information, but Christina Randall found it and she's got it.
she's so super cute. You'll love her. She's fun, cute, young, pretty girl, whatever.
Okay.
So, but she knows the prison world because she's been in it. She used to be a bad girl, and she changed, and now she's a Christian, and now she's all got a family, and she's just really cute. I just really like her. She's very fun. But anyway, she does real work. I mean, she gets to the point with these true crime things. She's a good source of information. But when you listen to, she thinks that this was a hoax. She starts the video. She says, when you hear this call, remember she's faking it. And she literally believes that Candace is faking this entire call. It's going to blow your mind when you finally hear it. We can talk about it next time. Where she is bawling her eyes out, totally different than anything we've heard from Candace to date. And to me, this is very important because I don't think she's faking it. I think that they said they were faking it because it was just leading them down to the truth, which is this whole Mexican thing. Jose is Mexican. John's been to Mexico a bunch of times. Prisoners need to sell children to get better. Why is Dawn, if you don't mind me why is Dawn getting such preferential treatment? See, that's another thing. This whole town, why are they letting these people walk? Well, like Cam said, Cam and Allie, I guess, those two that live in that area, he said it. He said, he's a nice guy and everything. He said the whole area is like this. The kids that get taken from one bad home are just put into another bad home. Where are they going to go? It's not like Candace and Dawn are the only bad parents in this town. Right. All of this is the whole thing. The whole thing. Can I tell you one more point that I thought was very significant to this?
We're at 11 minutes, so maybe we could save it for next time. Just because I am over 2 hours now, so I'm going to be wrapping up somewhat soon.
Okay.
But
people can check out my channel too. I talk about some of it there, but
I have pulled up Christina Randall's channel though, so I'll have to go try to find that video.
Oh yeah, you could you could show it. I mean, definitely show it on your because I don't think she's faking it like Christina believes. I think Christina's a little off on that one. I don't think that Candace is faking this call. I think she's genuinely upset. It's the only time I've seen her truly upset. And just before I go, her lack of guilt disarms me, and I'm trying to figure that out. Now, I think the meth brain, which she was raised on, is contributing to the lack of natural mothering instincts. The meth and the drugs that are pushed in the whole area and our country in general, so that we are so addicted that we're willing to do anything for that drug, including sell our children.
Right.
So thank you.
Okay.
I'll just.
Well, thank you
I
for
appreciate
calling.
you letting me call.
Yeah,
and I'll look forward to hearing what you think about the whole Christina Randall Candace call to Mary. It's her call to Mary. It's about a halfway, 2/3 of the way into that video.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Right,
thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay, that was the last call. That was Rose. A lot of stuff going on there. But thank you for calling, Rose. I have pulled up your channel, or Christina Randall's channel. I'll have to check that out. Creative renewal. I don't know where to go with this, guys. I'm on Hunter's block right now. This stream, I was going to go through more of Benny's videos. I think my thing with Benny is that, and I saw some people commenting, I hope that this is the last time we give Benny a platform. Look, Benny has his own platform. People can choose to view his stuff or not view his stuff. I, of course, will be in the shadows watching what I watch as it happens. And maybe we will comment again on something that Benny says in the future. I thought I was going to go more into it to try to figure out who he is, but honestly, it's like there are so many mixed feelings around Benny. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, it feels like a lot of, like from the beginning, Benny was on the Wells' side because it was the controversial thing to do. It's almost like this is where we're at with like the state of the world. It's like controversy. People follow that. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go into some examples of it, but it's like, this is the type, like Benny is the type of person I feel like that would 100% feed off of people being upset at the fact that he's Team Wells or involved with the Wells. And he also seems like the type of person that would turn in an instant on the Wells. And so it's not surprising to me that that is what's going on now. Benny is for Benny, is what Spiked Mountain Dew says. Yeah, he seems like the type of person that is always going to just be looking out for himself at the end of the day. So, oh no, Aaron breathed into the phone. Wait for it. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Allison. If I breathed into the microphone, it's because I am a human being and I breathe sometimes, and I have a microphone. But anyways, if I breathed into it, my apologies. Sometimes I get too close to it. But yeah, so of course I'm going to be following if Benny comes up more in the future and it has something to do with the case that could potentially be valuable to follow along with. But for right now, it's just, I don't see anything beyond him being a controversial figure. And like I said, I made a video at the beginning of my stream in the event that Benny responds to my stream. And I hope he doesn't. I hope he realizes, like, I'm just trying to understand his involvement in this case and nothing more. I don't have any ill will towards Benny in any way. I'm just following this story, much like many of you. But I called it in my video, and I don't want to have to post it, but I timestamped it. I showed the time. I filmed it like 6 minutes before I went live in case he responds, because I feel like I can almost call it, like, on how I feel like he would respond to my live stream. But hopefully, hopefully he doesn't, because like I said, I'm not trying to throw any shade towards Benny by any means. So Benny, if you're watching, I just was trying to dive in and learn a little bit more about you and your involvement in the case. So breathe all you want. Thank you. Thank you, Angie. So I think I'm going to end the stream there. Like I said, I didn't know really what this stream was going to be. It's now a 2.5 hour, almost 2.5 hour long stream. I have my opinions about Benny, and I'm going to keep most of those offline because I don't want to fuel YouTube drama. Even Kira said it in her call, like, about Benny being a part of the drama. Like, I don't want to be a part of the drama. I think it's worth looking into, and that's what we did in this live stream. But beyond this, I won't be responding to anything about Benny unless it's like very valuable to the story overall. But I will definitely not dedicate an entire live stream to it. So to the people who have followed along from this stream, thank you guys for joining. EM, 3 months of Aaron covering great content. Thank you so much, EM, for being a member for 3 months. Speaking of that, we must thank the level 2 supporters right here. Thank you guys so much for being level 2 supporters. Also, thanks to the level 1 supporters who have joined today. Also to the people who have given super chats, super stickers, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. Also, Team Rose becoming a level 1 supporter. Thank you, Team Rose. Really appreciate that. Saleo as well. Team Rose just joined. Cool. Thank you. Carol, thank you, Aaron. Mystic Firefly, thank you. Jackie M. Ocean Girl, she laughed at the end of that call. Okay, now I'm just reading everyone's chats as they come through. I'm going to hop off. Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. If you at all are interested in an update around the Michael Vaughn case, tomorrow, probably around this time, actually, I think it's going to be more of an evening stream, maybe like 7 o'clock Eastern, somewhere around there. I'm going to be doing at least a 2-hour live stream with someone to catch myself up to speed, and hopefully you guys, on the Michael Vaughn case out of Fruitland, Idaho. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and I have that scheduled and planned out, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be taking a step away from the Summer Wells case, and we'll come back to it fresh. Also, you know what? I'm going to keep this one to myself. There is something interesting around the Summer Wells case that I will bring up in a future live stream, but we will wait. That will have to wait. Thank you to the mods for being here. Thank you to everyone else for being here. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.